Ladies, let me ask you a question. What if you had the power to take your man's stress, tension, and fatigue and transform it into pure desire, relaxation, and unforgettable passion? Imagine being the reason he closes his eyes, lets out a deep sigh, and feels completely connected to you. That's the power of an intimate massage, not just about touch, but about creating an emotional and physical experience that bonds you on a deeper level. When preparing to give a man a mind-blowing, intimate massage, the very first step is creating the right atmosphere. The power of touch alone can work wonders, but the environment surrounding that moment decides how deeply he will relax and how open he will be to receiving pleasure. Imagine walking into a room that feels chaotic, with harsh lights, noise, or distractions. It is almost impossible to fully let go in such a setting. In contrast, stepping into a space filled with soft lighting, soothing scents, and a calm ambience tells his mind and body it is safe to unwind. This mental shift is essential because relaxation begins long before your hands even touch his skin. The atmosphere becomes a silent invitation for him to surrender his tension and allow the experience to flow naturally. A good environment is built through careful attention to small details. Lighting is one of the most important elements. Bright overhead lights can feel cold and clinical, while dim, warm lighting evokes intimacy and comfort. Candles are often the perfect choice because they bring both soft light and a sense of romance. Their flicker naturally calms the mind and sets the tone for an evening that feels private and special. Music is another tool that carries incredible influence. A gentle playlist filled with soothing instrumental sounds or soft romantic tracks creates a rhythm that encourages slower breathing and deeper relaxation. Silence can sometimes feel awkward, but music fills the background in a way that holds the moment together and adds depth to every touch. Scent is a powerful connector of emotion and memory, and it should never be overlooked. Essential oils such as lavender, sandalwood, or vanilla can instantly trigger feelings of calm desire or warmth. Lighting a subtle incense stick or using a diffuser enhances the atmosphere without overwhelming it. The right fragrance lingers in the air and becomes part of the memory he will associate with the massage, making it even more unforgettable. Beyond scent, temperature plays its part as well. A room that is too cold or too warm will distract him and prevent relaxation. A comfortable, slightly warm environment allows his muscles to loosen and makes every stroke of your hands more enjoyable. Another element in creating the right space is eliminating distractions. Turn off phones, silence notifications, and ensure that nothing will interrupt the moment. This is about giving undivided attention, and a true sense of presence cannot be achieved if minds are wandering or interruptions occur. When he realizes that this time is solely dedicated to him, he feels valued and cared for on a deeper level. That emotional safety magnifies the physical pleasure. Details like fresh sheets, soft blankets, and comfortable pillows also matter. The surface he lies on should feel inviting and gentle against his skin, as physical comfort complements the sensual experience. Even the clothes you wear or the way you carry yourself contributes to the atmosphere. Flowing fabrics, soft tones, and a relaxed demeanor tell him without words that this time is intimate and intentional. Every detail works together to build anticipation before the massage begins. Setting the atmosphere is not just about making things look pretty. It is about creating an environment where his mind and body can switch off from stress and responsibilities. Men often carry tension from work, pressure, and daily challenges, and it takes a clear signal from the environment to allow him to release that burden. When the surroundings feel safe, soothing, and full of warmth, his guard naturally comes down and he becomes more receptive to both physical and emotional closeness. The atmosphere whispers to him that he can let go, that he does not have to perform or pretend, and that he can fully embrace the intimacy being offered. When this first step is done with care, it transforms the massage from a simple act of touch into a full experience. The atmosphere prepares him mentally and emotionally, setting the stage for everything that follows. It creates an unspoken language of love, attention, and desire, By shaping the environment with thought and intention, you elevate the entire massage into something unforgettable. It is not only his body that feels the difference, it is his heart and soul that register how deeply you care. The moment your hands make contact with his skin, the magic of the massage begins. Yet before that first touch, there is an essential detail that can completely change how the experience feels: warmth. Cold hands can create a jolt that breaks the flow of intimacy, but warm hands instantly signal comfort, care, and sensuality. Taking a few seconds to rub your palms together, hold them near a candle, or dip them in warm water shows thoughtfulness and ensures that every stroke feels inviting. Warmth conveys safety, softness, and tenderness, allowing him to sink into the moment without resistance. It tells him that this is not rushed or careless, but an intentional act meant to bring him pleasure and relaxation. Adding massage oils to this process elevates the experience even further. Oils create a smooth glide across the skin, turning ordinary touch into something far more luxurious. Without oil, friction can interrupt the flow, but with it, each stroke feels fluid, graceful, and continuous. The choice of oil is just as important as its application. Scents like lavender encourage calmness and ease, coconut adds a natural sweetness, and vanilla stirs warmth and subtle arousal. Even unscented oils work wonders by simply making the skin feel nourished and pampered. The sensation of oil being poured slowly onto the body heightens anticipation, as it engages not only touch, but also sound and smell. The act of applying oil should not be rushed. Pouring it slowly into your hands, warming it with your touch, and then spreading it gently across his shoulders or back turns a simple step into an intimate ritual. It is a chance to tease, to let him feel the contrast of cool oil warming under your palms, and to prepare his body for the deeper strokes that follow. Moving in long, steady motions allows the oil to absorb into the skin while also sending signals to his nervous system to release tension. The rhythm you create here matters. Too fast feels clinical, while slow, deliberate motions invite him into a deeper state of relaxation. There is also an emotional element tied to the use of oil. When you select a scent with care, or choose something that you know appeals to him, it shows attention to his desires. He feels special knowing that the experience was prepared with him in mind. This small gesture deepens the emotional connection and transforms the massage into something more than physical. It becomes a symbol of affection and thoughtfulness. Oils in this sense are not just about lubrication, they become tools for communication, a way to say without words that he is cherished and worth the effort. The sensual qualities of oil also allow you to explore more than just traditional massage strokes. With your hands gliding effortlessly, you can vary your pressure, tracing slow circles, long lines, or gentle squeezes. The skin becomes hypersensitive under the influence of oil, and even the lightest touch can spark shivers of pleasure. This creates endless possibilities for mixing comfort with teasing, relaxation with arousal. The contrast between firm strokes that melt away stress and light caresses that awaken desire keeps the experience exciting and layered. Another subtle power of oils lies in their lingering effect. Even after the massage is over, the fragrance clinging to his skin becomes a reminder of the experience. Hours later, he may catch a trace of vanilla or sandalwood and instantly be transported back to the intimacy of your touch. This lasting sensory imprint ensures that the massage is remembered, not just as a fleeting moment, but as an experience that stays with him long after. Taking the time to warm your hands and use oils shows intention, and intention is what transforms a simple act into something unforgettable. It proves that you are not just touching his body, you are crafting an experience. He feels not only the physical pleasure of smooth strokes, but also the emotional weight of being cared for so deep. These thoughtful touches set the foundation for the rest of the massage, ensuring that every moment afterward builds on a strong base of comfort, sensuality, and connection. By preparing your hands and embracing the art of oils, you create a pathway to intimacy that is smooth, soothing, and powerful in its simplicity. When the massage begins, the temptation may be to dive directly into sensual touch, but the true secret lies in patience. Before intimacy can be heightened, the body and mind must first be guided into a state of deep relaxation. Stress, tension, and fatigue live in the muscles and mind, and unless those barriers are gently dissolved, it becomes difficult to fully experience pleasure. That is why starting slowly with simple strokes designed to calm rather than excite is such a powerful step. This stage is not about rushing toward passion, but about creating the foundation where intimacy can naturally flourish. Every person carries stress differently, but for most men, it rests heavily in the shoulders, back and neck. These are the areas that bear the weight of daily responsibilities and unspoken worries. Beginning with long, steady strokes in these regions instantly signals relief. The motion does not need to be complex. It is the consistency and rhythm of the touch that matter most. Each stroke tells his body to let go a little more. Each press releases hidden tension, and each glide of the hands deepens his surrender. Over time, his breathing begins to slow, his muscles soften, and the walls built up throughout the day start to dissolve. The beauty of focusing on relaxation first is that it does not simply prepare the body but also quiets the mind. A man cannot fully enjoy closeness if his thoughts are racing with tasks, worries, or pressure. Gentle massage paired with a calm environment anchors him in the present moment. The feeling of warm hands moving across his skin is grounding, reminding him that he is safe, valued, and cared for. This mental quiet is where connection grows, because intimacy can only thrive when distractions fade away. By guiding him into stillness, the stage is set for something far more profound than simple physical pleasure. Touch during this phase should be intentional yet unhurried. Using the palms of the hands to move slowly across broad areas of the body creates a sense of comfort. The slower the movement, the stronger the effect. Quick or rushed strokes may feel functional, but lingering ones communicate intimacy and care. Alternating between gentle pressure to ease the muscles and lighter strokes that soothe the skin adds balance. The muscles are cared for, but the senses are awakened at the same time. This combination prepares the body to be more receptive when the massage shifts toward more intimate territory. This stage is also an opportunity to tune into subtle feedback. His breathing, small sounds, or even the way his body shifts will reveal what he needs. If his breath deepens when a particular area is touched, spend more time there. If he tenses, lighten the pressure. This kind of attentiveness does more than relax his body. It builds trust. He realizes that the massage is not about performing a routine but about responding to his needs in real time. Trust makes him more open, more connected, and more willing to give in to the intimacy unfold. Relaxation also carries an emotional dimension. When tension melts away, vulnerability takes its place. A man may not often have the space to let go completely, but in these moments he is free to surrender without judgment. That vulnerability is a gift. It creates a closeness that words alone cannot capture. The combination of touch, presence, and care builds a bridge between physical relaxation and emotional intimacy. What begins as a simple act of easing muscles transforms into an exchange of affection and security. By taking the time to prioritize relaxation before moving into deeper intimacy, the entire experience is elevated. It shifts from being just a physical act to becoming a journey that blends care, desire, and connection. The body is softened, the mind is quieted, and the heart is open. When passion does enter later, it flows naturally without force, and is amplified because it arises from a place of complete surrender. In this way, relaxation is not just preparation, it is the very key that unlocks a deeper, more unforgettable experience. One of the most powerful ways to elevate an intimate massage is through variety. Human touch is deeply sensitive, and the body responds differently depending on the type of pressure, speed, and technique applied. Using the same strokes repeatedly can quickly become predictable, and predictability dulls excitement. The true art lies in keeping him guessing, in mixing firm, grounding strokes with delicate caresses that tease his senses. The balance between strength and gentleness awakens both relaxation and arousal, weaving them together into an experience that feels layered and captivating. Firm pressure plays an important role because it communicates care and stability. When hands move deeply across his muscles, tension that has built up over time begins to release. Strong, confident strokes over his back, shoulders, or thighs tell him that he can let go, that he does not need to hold on to the weight he carries. This kind of pressure is grounding, anchoring him in the moment and making him feel supported. Yet while firmness melts away stress, It is the contrast with softness that makes the massage unforgettable. Gentle caresses, often just the fingertips brushing against his skin, spark a completely different response. Where firm strokes relax, light touches ignite. They send shivers through the nervous system, teasing and awakening areas of the body that may have felt dormant. A slow glide of the fingertips along his arm or across his lower back creates anticipation, a whisper of what could come next. He never knows whether the next stroke will be steady and deep or light and playful, and that uncertainty builds a thrilling. The alternation between these two styles is what keeps him fully engaged. A few minutes of strong, deliberate pressure can be followed by a pause and then a sudden shift to a soft caress. That pause, the silence in the touch, is just as powerful as the movement itself. It creates suspense, almost as though time has slowed down, and he is left waiting in heightened awareness for what will follow. When the next stroke arrives, whether firm or delicate, it feels amplified because of the contrast. This rhythm of strength and softness mirrors the dance of intimacy itself, where comfort and passion intertwine. Exploration during this stage is key. Different parts of the body respond uniquely to varied pressure. Broad areas like the back and thighs can handle and often crave firmer strokes, while sensitive regions such as the inner arms, neck, or sides respond better to lighter caresses. Moving between these zones with a combination of techniques allows the massage to feel like a journey rather than a routine. Each shift in style and area touched adds another layer of surprise, ensuring he remains immersed in the experience. Another important aspect of mixing pressure and touch styles is the way it engages his senses beyond the physical. The unpredictability keeps his mind from drifting. He cannot anticipate what comes next, so he remains present, fully attuned to every movement of your hand. Presence is what deepens connection. When he feels that his body is being touched with intention, creativity, and awareness, he does not just enjoy the sensation, he feels desired, cared for, and completely captivated. Variety also heightens anticipation, which is one of the most powerful elements of intimacy. The more his senses are teased with changing pressures and unexpected pauses, the stronger his longing becomes. Anticipation stretches out the pleasure, making every second of the massage feel electric. Instead of rushing to a peak, the experience builds slowly, unpredictably, and deliciously, keeping him in a state of constant awareness and desire. Mastering this balance requires sensitivity and playfulness. It is about listening to his reactions and adjusting accordingly. A sigh, a shiver, or a shift in breath will tell you when to press deeper or when to soften your touch. This attentiveness transforms the massage from a simple act of touch into a dynamic interaction, where both his body and emotions are engaged. By blending firm strokes with delicate caresses, by teasing and then soothing, you create an intimate rhythm that lingers in his memory. The true magic is not in the individual techniques themselves, but in the way they are combined. The rise and fall of pressure, the switch between grounding and teasing, creates a flow that feels alive. It mirrors the ebb and flow of passion, reminding him that intimacy is not about one note played endlessly, but about a symphony of sensations woven together. Through this variety, the massage becomes something unforgettable, an experience where his body feels nurtured, his senses are awakened, and his heart is drawn closer than ever. The most intimate and transformative part of giving a massage comes not only from the hands, but from the awareness behind them. Touch is powerful, but what makes it truly unforgettable is the ability to notice and respond to the signals he gives. Every body speaks its own language, and when you learn to listen carefully to his breathing, his movements, and the subtle shifts in his energy, you unlock a deeper level of connection. This is where the massage stops being a routine act and becomes a personal dialogue without words. Breath is often the clearest signal. When he exhales slowly or his breathing deepens, it shows that a particular touch has struck the right chord. This is the body's natural way of releasing tension, a sign that he feels safe and comfortable enough to let go. Paying attention to those breaths allows you to linger in the places that bring him the most relief or pleasure. If his breath becomes uneven or shallow, it may mean the pressure is too much, or that he needs a gentler approach. Matching your rhythm to his breath, slowing your strokes when he slows his breathing,
creates harmony that pulls him even further into relaxation. Body language speaks just as loud. A slight arch of his back, a subtle tilt of his head, or the way his muscles soften under your hands can guide you better than any spoken instruction. Sometimes he might lean into your touch, a clear sign that he craves more pressure there. Other times he may flinch or tense slightly, indicating the need for lighter movements. These small responses are like a map showing you where to go and how to proceed. By responding attentively, you show him that this experience is crafted for him alone, not something mechanical or rehearsed. The power of attentiveness lies in the trust it builds. When a man feels that every stroke is tailored to his body's signals, he understands that he is not just being touched, but deeply understood. This awareness allows him to surrender more fully, knowing that he does not need to guide or control the moment. Trust is essential for intimacy, because it dissolves barriers and invites vulnerability. In that vulnerability, the connection between you deepens, and the massage becomes far more than just physical relief. Another layer of attentiveness is learning to sense his energy beyond physical reactions. Sometimes his body may relax, but his mind may still carry tension. This can be felt in subtle ways: the heaviness of his sighs, the way he hesitates to fully melt into your touch, or the restlessness of small movements. In these moments, slowing down even further, softening your strokes, and offering a reassuring pause can help him feel emotionally safe. The act of listening with your hands, of tuning into what lies beneath the surface, is what transforms the massage into an act of intimacy that touches both body and soul. Responding to his needs in real time also keeps the experience alive and engaging. Instead of moving mechanically from one area to another, you adapt fluidly, creating a rhythm that is unique to him. This unpredictability keeps his senses awake, but it also reassures him that the focus is entirely on his experience. He is not just receiving a massage, he is receiving your presence, your awareness, and your care. That level of focus makes him feel valued in a way that words often cannot express. Attentiveness also creates a feedback loop of connection. As you respond to his breathing and movements, he feels seen and understood. In turn, he relaxes more, which gives you clearer signals to follow. This cycle deepens naturally until both of you are immersed in the moment, fully attuned to each other. It is no longer just about the physical act of massaging. It becomes an unspoken conversation of touch and trust. Ultimately, what makes attentiveness so powerful is that it goes beyond technique. Anyone can learn strokes or apply pressure, but it takes presence to notice the details that reveal how he truly feels. When you show that level of awareness, you are not only massaging his muscles, you are reaching into the deeper layers of who he is, showing him that he matters, that his comfort and pleasure are your priority. This is what makes the experience unforgettable. It is not the perfect technique that lingers in his memory, but the feeling of being completely seen, completely cared for, and completely connected in that moment. Intimacy is never just about physical touch. While the body responds to strokes, pressure, and caresses, the heart and mind long for something deeper. What transforms a massage into an unforgettable experience is the blending of sensual touch with emotional presence. When physical sensations are paired with affirming words, soft whispers, and genuine affection, the result is not only pleasure, but also a profound sense of closeness. This combination feeds both body and soul, creating a memory that lingers far beyond the moment itself. The physical act of a massage opens the door, but emotional intimacy is what allows someone to step fully into the experience. When he feels your hands moving across his skin while also hearing gentle affirmations about how much he means to you, the connection deepens. It is not just his muscles that are being soothed, it is his heart. Compliments, expressions of desire, or even simple reminders that you love the way he feels can turn a moment of touch into a moment of bonding. These words wrap around him like an invisible embrace, giving him a sense of being truly valued. Whispers are especially powerful during a massage because of their intimacy. Speaking softly near his ear, while your hands explore his body, awakens more than just one sense. The vibration of your voice against his skin, the closeness of your breath, and the tenderness of your words stir emotions as strongly as touch does. A whisper can heighten anticipation, soothe insecurities, or ignite desire. It adds an extra dimension to the experience, layering emotional depth over physical sensation. Eye contact also carries a role in blending physical and emotional intimacy. While much of the massage may be done with his eyes closed, there are moments when a gentle glance can say more than words. Looking at him with tenderness, as you run your hands across his body, communicates devotion. A simple smile or a loving gaze reinforces the idea that this is not just about touch, it is about connection. Even brief moments of eye contact can strengthen the feeling that you are not only massaging him, but also sharing yourself with him in an unspoken way. Blending these emotional elements with physical touch creates chemistry that feels magnetic. Chemistry is not born from technique alone, it is born from the intention behind every action. When your touch is guided by love and care, when your words affirm his worth, when your presence is fully invested in him, the energy between you intensifies. He feels it not just in his body but in his spirit. This is the kind of connection that fuels passion and deepens bonds, the kind that makes him crave not only your touch, but also your closeness. This approach also nurtures trust. Men, like anyone, sometimes struggle to be vulnerable. They may carry walls built by stress, pride, or fear of being misunderstood, but when physical touch is paired with emotional intimacy, those walls begin to crumble. He realizes that he can let go because he is not only being touched, but also seen and accepted for who he truly is. This vulnerability allows passion to flow freely, unguarded and authentic. It is within this space that true intimacy thrives. The beauty of blending physical and emotional intimacy is that it turns a simple massage into an experience that engages every part of him. His body feels the pleasure of touch, his heart feels the warmth of affection, and his mind feels the peace of being cherished. This harmony creates a memory that endures, because it is not limited to one dimension. It is layered, rich, and long after the massage ends, he will recall not just how your hands felt on his skin, but how deeply connected and loved he felt in your presence. What makes this practice so powerful is its simplicity. It does not require elaborate techniques or complex ritual. It only asks for presence, intention, and authenticity. A gentle whisper, a tender look, or a word of admiration paired with soothing strokes carries more power than any polished move. It is in these little gestures that the depth of intimacy reveals itself. The body can be touched by many, but when touch is infused with emotion, it becomes sacred. In the end, blending physical and emotional intimacy is what elevates an intimate massage into something extraordinary. It reminds him that he is not just receiving pleasure, he is receiving love, attention, and connection. The massage becomes a ritual of closeness, where every stroke, every word, and every glance weaves together a tapestry of desire and devotion. This is not about technique alone, it is about giving your presence fully, so that he leaves the moment not just satisfied but deeply cherished, bonded and longing for more. Take this moment as your invitation to go beyond routine and create an experience he will never forget. Don't wait for the perfect time. Set the mood, warm your hands, choose the oil, and give him the gift of touch that speaks to both his body and his heart. Start tonight, because intimacy isn't something to postpone, it's something to nurture, cherish, and ignite. Make him feel desired, valued, and connected like never before, because the power is already in your hands.